Welcome, foolish mortals, back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Disney Newsreel. So we have a few stories to go over today, one that Anna's really excited about, and the other ones that she just doesn't know about yet. So we're going to get through them as quickly as we can, because I have about 6 of them pulled up. So
oh, good gravy.
We'll get through, and we shouldn't have to talk about all of them for very long. Before we get into that, make sure that if you are not subscribed to the channel, you hit that subscribe button down below, and make sure you leave us a like and a comment, and let us know how we're doing. So, I wanted to start with the crazy story today, and then you know, the bad stuff that keeps happening. So that's how I started. Disney's Hollywood studio guest attacked by members of maskless family. Yeah, that's why I started with this one. This type of stuff just keeps happening every week, it seems like.
But how are they even maskless? That's not even like a...
Well, they probably wore masks to get into the park and then took them off at some point, and a cast member hadn't seen them yet. Mostly maskless.
But still.
And he was attacked by this mostly maskless family after getting into an argument with them over their faulty use of face masks. So, anyway, apparently the family was attempting to take shelter by the restrooms near Rock and Roller Coaster per the Orange County Sheriff's Office report.
Probably because it was raining.
That could be.
They did have the tropical storm roll through there, so. Yeah,
that's true. They did. And one guy punched this senior citizen in the head.
And then a woman in the family joined in. What? At what point in time does that really seem necessary? Maybe I'm just a nice person. I don't know.
Yeah, so this is just coming out now, but the actual incident apparently took place back in September on the 17th. This is just the first that they've actually released anything about it. So, yeah. Oh yeah, this was just 2 days after that whole Remember Hopper thing where the guy was going on some erroneous rant about trying to quote A Bug's Life. Yeah, where he misquoted Bug's Life. That was pretty funny. So yeah, there's just I don't know why this type of crap keeps happening.
Those people suck.
It does. So, and then this one will be really quick because I just really wanted to mention it. So the Tamu Tamu Refreshments in Animal Kingdom is bringing breakfast options to Disney's Animal Kingdom. So they're actually starting to serve breakfast in some places now.
Okay.
What have they got? They got anything good? There's a Danish.
It's a guava and cream cheese.
And a honey pistachio croissant.
That also doesn't sound very appealing.
Ooh, colossal Mickey cinnamon roll.
I mean, that's good. I like cinnamon rolls, but...
Yeah. Which is really funny because you don't like cinnamon.
Nope.
Yeah, so... And they updated the My Disney Experience app to show the new lists of breakfast availability from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Tamu Tamu.
Sure.
So, all right, Disney legend, legendary Disney Imagineer Joe Rohde is retiring. He just announced this, what is today, the 25th? So he just announced this 2 days ago-ish. So yes, the Disney legend Imagineer Joe Rohde is retiring. And he's been working, 40 years in the industry. So he's been there for a while.
Yep.
And he was one of the guys that that had a hand in Pandora, the World of Avatar. He had a hand in Animal Kingdom when it was being built. Aulani Resort in Hawaii. Plus a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, he's a very, very famous Imagineer. Mm-hmm. You'll see him in credits and everything basically.
Yeah. And yeah, he's been here for 40 years. He started at the age of 25 is what he said. So he's retiring at 65, which is pretty good age to retire from that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's 40 years of working in Imagineering. That's just crazy. Let's see what else he's done. He's helped with Mexico in the World Showcase at Epcot.
New Fantasyland.
Disneyland's New Fantasyland in 83. Captain EO. The Adventurers Club on Pleasure Island. Festival Disney at Disneyland Paris. Animal Kingdom. Expedition Everest.
That's how I knew him. That's why.
Yeah. Alani. Villages Nature at Disneyland Paris. Pandora, the World of Avatar. And Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout at California Adventure. So, and that's just a few of the things, like...
Yeah, that's nothing. I was going to say, he's had his hand in a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
But I know him from Expedition Everest.
Gotcha. But. Yeah, like, if you read the Magic Journey for Kevin Rafferty, like, just looking at the sheer number of things that he's worked on, and and he's... I think his career has been pretty close to as long as Joe Rohde's has. Pretty close. And so, like, there's a lot more that he's worked on. That's just some of the big stuff that people would recognize. So, I saw this the other day, and it was pretty exciting. So, and it was breaking news from 2 days ago. So, Disney and Brightline reach agreement to build a high-speed railway station at Disney Springs. So, this high-speed railway station would bring a high-speed railway all the way from MCO, Orlando International Airport, to Disney Springs, which would be great because then when we got there, we would be able to just hop on the high-speed train, take that all the way to Disney Springs, and then hop on a bus from Disney Springs to our resort.
Exactly.
And it would, instead of having
a
45-minute Magical Express ride, you'd have like a 15-20-minute high-speed railway trip, and then another 10-minute trip back to the resort. Actually, probably not, depending on what resort we were staying at.
Yeah.
So, the Disney Springs project is expected to take 2 to 3 years to complete once construction commences.
I mean, that's kind of neat. I mean, that means we're looking at 2024-ish.
Yeah.
25-ish.
The construction would likely commence after the scheduled 2022 completion of the expansion from West Palm Beach to Orlando International Airport. So they're going to finish that first, and then most likely, but they don't actually have anything scheduled yet. It's just been approved and everything, and they can start work on it whenever they want to, just as soon as they get things going.
That's cool.
So that will be incredibly awesome. It would make things so much easier. All right. Last but not least, this is the one that Anna's really excited about. More breaking news from a few days ago. Park Hopper returns to Walt Disney World on January 1st, 2021. So they had done away with Park Hopper because of the Park Pass system, and it was also a way to control the crowds and control the number of people working each park. Because if you Park Hopper and people are hopping directly from one park to another, it's harder to keep track of how many guests are in each one with the number of people that would be filtering back and forth and
which they still could, but it's more, I think, more a matter. Which, no, that still doesn't make sense, because if you look at, on Christmas Day, for instance, Magic Kingdom hits capacity.
Right.
And if they've hit capacity, regardless of whether you have Park Hopper or not, you can't get in. They know how many people are in the park. So I don't understand, I get it, but I also don't get why Park Hopper ever was a...
Yeah.
Because they can still monitor how many people are in the park and still limit it. I don't know.
Don't look at me. I'm not the one that makes the decisions. So yeah, starting January 1st of 2021, you'll be able to do Park Hopper again. So.
But it's limited, though. So you still have to make a reservation for your first park. And then after 2 p.m., you would be able to park hop to the next park.
Another park, yeah. And you're only supposed to go to one other park, right?
I don't know.
I thought that was one of the things to say you were on, but I don't know how they would track that. So, I do know how they would track that.
They can monitor your log.
Your Magic Band.
Yeah.
Because you still use the Magic Band, you just don't do the fingerprint.
Yeah, you're logging into the next park. So, I don't... It doesn't really say, though, because it... More than one park per day is what it says.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't really say, but I imagine just because of the limited hours, why would you...
Yeah, because you have to wait until after 2 p.m. to go to that second park. And if the hours are only until 8 p.m. or something like that, 5 o'clock, even 8 p.m. It's like that's only another. If you go right at 2, that's only another 6 hours in that you can spread out between the 3 other parks. Why would you then go to one park for an hour or 2, and then another park for an hour or 2? Like, you won't really be able to do anything. So there would be no point.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, I think you could, because it doesn't say that there's any stipulations there.
Yeah.
But I don't see why you would.
Right.
And this kind of sucks. Like, it's good because we're getting somewhere. But it also kind of sucks for things like what we usually do, where we will just check into Epcot and not actually really do anything there.
Right.
And then we'd bounce to the next park.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to do that. We would have to actually
stay at Epcot until 2 o'clock.
Spend some time.
Go and ride some rides or walk around, whatever, yeah.
But I could also see this being, like, which actually, no, that doesn't even make sense either. Because you can't get Rise passes.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to mention, is that when you're park hopping, if you park hop to Hollywood Studios, you won't be able to get a boarding group for Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
I mean, partially because the second run of boarding groups is at 2 p.m., so you wouldn't, and you can't be there at 2 p.m. You have to wait until 2 p.m. to go over there. So there's really no need to be like, no, you won't be able to do this, because they won't, because those things are gone in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Because you have hundreds of people standing around pushing their button the whole time, just constantly refreshing.
Which is also, I mean, it's also kind of a good thing, because then it saves, because, like, they're kind of going off of their park capacities right now for boarding passes and how many they can move through there. And if they are letting people who didn't have reservations hop into the park, it's not fair to those people who have been there all day.
Yeah, and are, like, waiting for it. Yeah, that's true too. But yeah, so Park Hopper will be coming back. So hopefully we'll be able to add that onto our trip for October, but we're kind of waiting to see how it goes.
Yeah, I want to wait and see how it goes. And also, just because of the way we've kind of scheduled things out, we probably don't need
not
it.
Necessarily, yeah. But as it gets closer, because we have up until like a month beforehand that we can change that. So
we have till September.
Yep.
So
we probably should do it in like August or something like that. So
yeah,
so we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, that is it for the news today. Again, there wasn't a whole lot. I just figured I would leave it on a slightly upbeat note, as opposed to
the last few weeks.
The last forever. So yeah, that's it for us today. So thank you all for joining us this week, and we hope that we can see you all again next week. And until then, don't forget
to thank the Phoenicians.